Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Hold it here. So I say when I ask the question, which DLC is better? Okay, we all know better is a relative term, right? Okay, it's what's better for one might not be better for another, right? So I'm not going to get into the technical part of DLC other than diamond light coating. It's a hardness cover coating that is put on many things. It's in the pocket knife industry. It's in the knife industry, and it basically makes that whatever you put it on, it has certain properties that are enhanced: hardness, wear resistance, corrosion resistance, resistance to chemicals. It just makes it a tougher, more durable surface, and it's proven. So this is a step up from the PVD, right? The physical vapor deposition. PVD coating is also very good. It is similar to diamond like, but it's not as good. Diamond like is more. It's more, right? It's better. It's a more refined. It's an extra process or two. So, but you are talking about a coating that is a nano composite. Nano meaning small, right? Literally tiny. 1/1000th of a meter, I believe, is nano coating. Nano, and then composite, meaning made up of various parts. So that's what we're talking about. That's why this stuff is so strong. So with that in mind, um, yeah, with that in mind, that's really what my the metric by which I judge uh, DLC coatings. Okay, I judge it by um, we're talking about looks, and we're talking about how long it can maintain that look while being used. So just off the bat, okay, um, when you're comparing the look, oh boy, the right away the Spyderco DLC is to me, just to my eye, to how I look at it, is it's not as, because it's not as shiny and because it doesn't hold a certain look without me doing something to it. I have a problem with that. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying it doesn't stand up to and resist to scratches and is not durable and all the things that DLC is supposed to do. What I am saying is that in order for this coating to continue to look like this, I put frog lube on it and I kind of rub with a towel, because markings come on this. Like, markings show up on this, and to people that aren't OCD like me, this might not make a difference at all. But to me, it does make a difference. And when you're comparing it to the Cold Steel DLC, I think Cold Steel has some of the best DLC in the business. Because with the Cold Steel DLC, it's shinier. It's just more of a refined looking DLC. Okay? It looks more refined. It doesn't take anything other than wiping it off, maybe spray some glass cleaner on it, and just wipe it off. That's it. And I use this knife. This is my American Lawman. I love this thing. I use this knife. And the DLC on it is amazing. I mean, the DLC on all the Cold Steels is really good. And what I find to be amazing about that is that DLC is considered a premium coating on knife blades. Right? It's not just like a black coating on there. It's considered a premium coating. So when you see knives that cost tons of money, way more than this is a cheap knife. I don't mean cheap made. I mean cheap price. right? These things are very inexpensive, American Lawman. And they have the DLC is not compromised in any way. The DLC that you see on this knife, this inexpensive knife, will be the same you'll see on knives that cost hundreds of dollars and maybe even more. So I have the Magna Cut version of the Spyderco PM2, and like I said, these blades, I've cleaned these blades up, for the video. I wanted to give Spyderco some, little bit of, but these things just require a little bit more maintenance to keep them looking good, A lot of my knives on my channel aren't necessarily my users. I admit that. I have a lot of knives, and I have certain knives that I use. I mean, I use them a lot. But a lot of knives that you see on my channel are not users. I purposely do that, and they're for my channel. So, to me, when I do videos and stuff, I want the knives to have an aesthetic that I'm, to really look new. A lot of my knives are still new, and they literally were not purchased for that reason. They were not purchased to beat up. But I will tell you, I do use them for EDC, and the PVD, the DLC coatings on these things hold up really well. Listen, big Spyderco fan. I mean, anyone that watches my channel knows that. I do also really like cold steel. But for the metrics by which I'm judging the DLC coating, cold steel has it. They really, really, really do. So, anybody out there that, when you buy a cold steel folder, the DLC on it, you can rest assured it's some of the best in the business. The company was sold, and I don't see any difference in quality of their DLC. It's really, really, really good. Very hard coating. So yeah, this was just a quick video just to, it's sort of a head-to-head, right? It's just it's just a visual comparison, and from my usage history and what I've experienced, you got two companies that have really good DLC, but I would have to give the edge to Cold Steel. I really would, because of it's blacker than the Spyderco, and like I said, it just looks amazing. When you compare them, head to head, it's just the Cold Steel just has a so I really want Spyderco to step up their DLC. I really do, because they should not be outshined by Cold Steel. I mean, this should be much more of a comparable when you're looking at the knives. We want our knives to look handsome, right? So anyway, all right, guys, that's all I got. All right, thanks.